in corporate affairs, and I could have chosen to specialize in any of those fields, but I picked design because I believe it's one of the most powerful tools at our disposal to improve our quality of life.
So I wrote this letter and I was like, will you tell me how to design my life? TED is about T-E-D. The D is about design, the designed life.
White men, this is the beginning of the book I wrote, Angry White Men. These are 4 angry white men who believe.
So to further spark that will, I wrote and published how-to books, did countless talks, and with others did workshops, and we organized annual
of writing after that. And I wrote another book that just came out last year, and that one was really beautifully received, which is very nice, but not my point. My point is that I'm writing another one now, and I'll write another book after that, and another, and another, and another, and many of them will fail. And some of them
like that, you know, like for example, the piece Unequal that I wrote with Colin, who's here, that was us just sending each other ideas and files over the internet, and it was just like super organic. It just kind of like, you know, came. It wasn't like, you know, I want you to do this and do that. It was like, we were both coming together. How can we create something new together? And it's the same with like, you know, I've been with Matt for like 8 years now, and he has such an intimate, that's why it's so amazing that we can collaborate so much.
You might say. and the fact it doesn't, you know, one of the reasons I wrote the paper was, you know, there's a lot of discussion going on about we have a budget.
Oh my gosh, there's so many that I've read over the years. I wrote one called It Takes a Village, which I highly recommend.
Can't plug your own book.
I think there's a lot of wisdom in Bob Putnam's latest book, Our Kids. I think.
And so I wrote The Righteous Mind, and I moved to NYU just so I could be in New York City to promote it. I was able to get.
But I wrote PM that day, and I said, I cannot sleep. I am on edge. I'm freaking out. I have to make a big decision tomorrow. It's on my mind. It's weighing on me. I've already made it. I'm the type of person that makes a decision. I've made it. It's already been made, even if I haven't even done anything yet. It's made. I'm good. Today, that's not the case. And so I had to let it out. We forget so much.
On day 2, just read the story that I wrote for you. And that's it. That's all you have to do. That is your goal for day 2. Just read that story.
Computers. In 1993, I wrote this book, Usability Engineering, about the methods to improve user interfaces.
Piece of music. I wrote this tune in E-flat major that goes E-flat, G7, A-flat, A-flat minor. It's the chords to Creep by Radiohead. It's a good tune. I love that tune. Yeah, I do too.
Crime, the last book I wrote, Stealing Your Life, I dedicated that book to him and our 30-year relationship. But he was an Irish.
2 terms. I wrote most of their materials about gun violence prevention.
The Firearms Committee is in charge of
all firearms policy for that IACP endorses, and I've been on it. I worked there for
just out of curiosity.
People think because I wrote a book about wonder that I am an expert. Well, I'm an expert at understanding it, but maybe not finding it. I am not a wonder Jedi Master. I am still on this journey with everyone else. And so every day I make a conscious decision to try to slow down, to find the beauty in the quotidian. We live in such a fast world. But if we choose to view the world through a wonder lens, we can find it, and find it every day.
Get smarter, faster with videos from the world's biggest thinkers. To learn even more from the world's biggest thinkers, get Big Think Plus for your business.
I've never talked about love, let alone old body, new mind publicly. I wrote it about how I, at a young age, had to make a decision of my future. Is it music or is it him? The 2 things I loved most, the 2 things that made me happy. And if I married him, I would resent him.
I sat down.
Missing me. And I wrote a book called Leadership Wisdom, from the monk who sold his Ferrari 20 years ago. And I call Paycheck to Purpose. Link your income
including phrasal verbs. I should know, I wrote the book. And there are sounds.
Those books. I also wrote about it in a book I wrote a long time ago called The Greatness Guide. The point is a mighty.
But I wrote a book, Crazy is a Compliment, because I've come to believe that we all need to think and act like entrepreneurs.
With this book, which is really about getting that wild inside out into the world and living with integrity, which means that our insides match our outsides, right? In a very structured.
I wrote out what I thought she might say in lots of different ways.
I actually said this in the launch blog post I wrote, which is creating things, businesses, products, software, and crafts. It's my.
I wrote the lyrics for that. It was about imagining Mary's journey and being pregnant with Jesus.
I wrote every day for 15 years before my first book came out.
That's how I wrote Watermelon Man. The women, they would be saying, hey.
When I wrote The Handmaid's Tale, nothing went into it that had not happened in real life somewhere at some time.
So I was not against students protesting the article that I wrote. I mean, I think the right to protest is as important a right as the right to write.
This song of Matt, I feel like there's real resonance. And also the invitation in the song.
Infinite game, and that's what I wrote. And it's not supposed to convince the people who